Good evening. Today is June 4th, 2023. This is the weekly Bitcoin forecast, price forecast. So we're going to look at what we can do in the next potentially 7 days or so. So this is an interesting time because we're at the beginning of a new month. So this new candle has just opened in the last 4 days. We spent the month of May going down. That was to be expected. You can't go up forever. So we spent time going up, and then we had a little slight pullback in May, but I think we're about to rock at some point in June. This chart is a little different because I do have it on a logarithmic scale as opposed to a linear scale. So price might look a little bit different, but I do like looking at it logarithmically. So if we take a look at this price right here, you can see that it pretty much follows a pretty good linear trend. We're very much so in a channel. So we go up and we come down, and we go up and we come down. And if you look at it right here, we do the same thing on here. If we pull from here and go all the way up here, yeah, I mean, you kind of invalidate it a little bit, but overall we're in a channel, right? So we go up, down, up, down, so on and so forth. And this is on a monthly chart, right? So this is years worth of data. So we're going all the way back to 2012 and whatnot. But if you look at where we're at right now, May, we had a huge move up in January. Didn't do anything in February. We had March, which was a major move up to the upside. April, May, and I mean, we're just going to start with June. But April and May, we really didn't do a lot. I actually haven't traded in the past 2 weeks just because there's been no trades to make. I mean, I could have forced something, but that's not really smart. If there's no trades to be made, then do not make a trade. That's kind of like the general rule, right? So that was the monthly chart. We'll take a look at the weekly chart. Again, we came down all this time, and now we are still here. So pretty much, if we look at the past month or so since early May, we have done nothing. Up, down, up, down, up, down, so on and so forth. Just a whole bunch of not real price movement. And the thing is, there's been actually a lot of major movements in crypto right now. I mean, you have one of the major things that happened in the last couple of days is Hong Kong. So Hong Kong opened up the retail markets for people to invest in cryptocurrency, and anything you know about Hong Kong, like they're very strict about their policies and whatnot. So this is actually them opening up the floodgates because the Asian markets are one of the largest in the world. So with us now having access to that, and people on the eastern side of the country, side of the world, really, not side of the country. They have access to the crypto market. So that's a very good thing. It's very bullish, in my opinion. One thing that we can look at is the fact that if we're looking on the daily chart now, we had this major rocket up in March, and we kind of saw that earlier. Price has not been able to invalidate this 100 moving average. Like we've been going for weeks and weeks and weeks at this point. It's like, no, it hasn't been able to do it. So that's a very good sign. And actually, I'm going to take this off a logarithmic scale at this point. I had it on the logarithmic, we'll do regular. So it doesn't change much there. But so let's take a look right now. So like we have price right here. If we have the moving averages, if we do the Fibonacci line right here, we bring it up to here. That was the top of it. It got up to about 31,000, right? Price has not been able to really invalidate any of this. So we take a look at here, and we draw our demand zone right here. I think this is a place where price rocketed off. Pull it up to here. So if we look at it, we have a lot of things going on right here. So we have a moving average, the 200 moving average sitting right here. We have the $25,000, 25,000 right here is the top of this order block right here. And I believe that's, we've created this imbalance. And then you also have the Fibonacci, which is the 50% moving, the 50% from the top to bottom here. You have that 50% line. That's generally a good entry line. It's a good entry point generally for most people. People look to enter at the 50 mark. So I've been saying this for weeks, if not months at this point. We could come back down to 25,000. Do I think it's the most probable thing? Probably not, because again, there's a lot of bullish news that might be pushing it to the upside. But it could happen, right? You have to talk about probabilities versus possibilities. It's absolutely possible. It's probable. I don't think so. But again, you never know. You can't make that judgment call until it happens. You have to be adaptable. So one thing we look at again right here is this. So you have again these confluences right here, and then again we have to talk about the fact that 25,000 is very much so it's a psychological level. So there's probably a lot of order blocks sitting right here at 25,000 for Bitcoin. So all that's going to do is even if it does come down, it's just going to rocket back up. just because again, there's so much money sitting right here that's not anywhere else. The other thing they could do, I mean, it could come down, retest again, and then shoot off. You never know. But I think those are we haven't been able actually for months since mid March. We have not been able to come below this line. Since not been able to come really below 27,000. This is the lowest close that we had below 27,000 was what about 26? Yeah, so we came to 26. So we'll see. Again, this is the area right here that I believe that we're going to bounce off of. Going into next week, I mean, some things that you could see potentially are, let's see, what do I want here? I want the path. And I want it to be a certain color too, but it's fine. You could, again, I said we come here and then we continue to rock it up to, we're still on the daily chart. So yeah, we could rock it back up to about 29, 30,000. The other thing that we could do, again, like I've expressed earlier, is we could continue to come back down to here, key level, bounce off, and then come back right up to about 30,000. This will be another highly contested area because, again, 30,000 is the last place that was highly contested, but it is also the place that it's a very psychological number, right? So you come here, 30,000, boom, 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 and I think we're just going to absolutely blow through that at a certain point. Like there's just so much good news, right? Again, you come down here, 30,000, 25K, jump off of that, and then we'll probably, I'm not even gonna lie, we'll probably go to about 37,000. It's 38 right here. We'll go 37,000, somewhere in there. We'll make that yellow, nice and bright, right? We'll come down here. Oh, this blue. Do that. Somewhere along those range, but either way, we're going up. I just don't see us violating this area. So that's it. I don't really have a ton else to talk about this week. We're not going to drag it out, but with the forecast, it's all saying that we're going up. Even if we have to come down, we're going down to come up. Okay, I guess there's another thing that I'll talk about. So the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So we'll talk about Bitcoin. I think, this is not what I want. CME. This should be I don't know. I don't know where it's, I have it on the watch list somewhere. Let's take a look. Cryptocurrencies, it should be, there it is. Yep. Yeah, the CME Bitcoin future. So one thing that we can look at, right, is right here. So the CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right? So we have this area. If we draw a line from, here's the gap, from here to about here. This is your CME. So basically, it's a Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It closes on Fridays. But Bitcoin, it runs 24/7, 365. So price may change drastically over the weekend. And if this doesn't open until Monday, price might jump from here and come back to here. So what really happened was over the weekend, you had a huge jump. What tends to happen with gaps like this in the market is like you'll have a jump up here and it might go up for a little bit, but generally gaps tend to fill. So like it'll come back down to this level and then you see it did perfectly. It came up and then it swooped down for a little bit and then we see it's on the way back up. That doesn't concern me in the least. Like I think this is still a very good movement. Honestly, I think it would be better for everyone if price just went ahead and dumped to 25,000 so that we can finally flush out the rest of the weak hands and get up to where we need to. But again, story for another day. We'll see how it's going. Price, there's nothing at this point that has invalidated my belief that we're still going to go up. A lot of bullish news on the way. A lot of bullish news. A lot of stuff that we got going. So between Hong Kong, between them opening up retail markets, to us filling the CME gap, to just the fact that the moving averages are still continuously moving up. Like I'm very excited. Very excited in the sense that I think we're going to hit 37K somewhere in June. But again, you never know. You just have to see what price does, and you adapt accordingly. So that's all I have for right now. We'll talk later, right? We'll see. We'll see you again next Sunday. We'll see you again next Sunday, and then we'll go from there. So y'all have a great trading week. Continue to watch the markets and tap into Chris Talks Crypto. So I'll talk to y'all later. All right. Bye-bye.